Hey there, friends. So I am here telling you a little bit about what's inside thriving through menopause. So now there's a lot to take in here. So like I was saying in our workshop, 80% of women have gone to their doctors for help with menopause, yet more than 60% were not able to have a supportive, honest discussion about menopause options. So if you've been there, like it's not just you, it's not just in your head, you're not alone. It's a common issue. And the other problem that I see is that, because hormone replacement therapy is kind of the go-to, it's like what, as at our doctor's office, it's the thing we know the most about, that we hear the most about, but it is not a magic pill. It is absolutely has its place, which we're going to talk about in Thriving Through Menopause. But it doesn't keep us from aging. It's not going to keep your hair from falling out. And it's not going to keep you from gaining weight or help you lose weight unless you have a very specific issue going on. Because as we've talked about, in the last couple of workshops I've done, nothing in our body happens in a vacuum. And we've got to take a kind of a whole body, whole person approach to taking care of ourselves during menopause and not just try to replace hormones. Because like I said, it's not necessarily what we need. And it's not without its risks either. It can be really hard to find the right cocktail, the right thing you need, finding the right doctor to do the right tests for you. So it's not as easy as a lot of us think it's going to be. So what we're looking here in Thriving Through Menopause is, like I said, taking that whole person, whole body approach and figuring out, why you're having the symptoms that you're having, and then developing lifestyle changes and dietary changes to support that. Because one of the things that happens as we're going through menopause, as our hormones are changing, is our dietary needs change. Like part of the reason you're probably feeling the way you are right now is because you're eating like you did in your 20s and 30s because that was working for you. But now as things are changing, we really have to adapt what we're doing every day, because estrogen, as it drops, marks an acceleration in our aging process. And so that's when we start to have a lot of, the middle age and old people problems, right? In quotes. But that's when where we start to see a lot of that stuff. And it's because our body has changed and we haven't with it. And so this is really about making those changes that are going to support you as you're going through menopause and once you're through it too. So we've got 9 modules here. And the first, we're just going to talk about understanding like what's going on during this time. You're going to create a menopause vision statement. So this is like, what do you see yourself doing, now and in the next 20 years? Like, depending on how old you are, if you're watching this, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm 44. So, in 20 years, I'm going to be 64. My daughter is going to be an adult. I want to be able to keep up with her. I want to be able to play with my grandbabies when they come along, because I'm an old mom. I was 37 when I had my daughter, and I want to be around for her as long as possible. And so thinking about the things I want to be doing that are going to support me and realizing that vision is what we're talking about in this first module. And it's really going to help kind of set the stage for what you want to do and the changes you want to make. Then we're going to talk about managing our menopause symptoms. So, we're going to talk a little bit about hormone replacement therapy in here, but we're also going to talk about some really amazing supplements that I take myself, that many of the women that are in the same health and wellness community that I'm in who have gone through this use. They are amazing. And just some of the things that you can do, easy stuff to start getting your symptoms under control. And then we're going to start talking about nutrition. And so this is really, I think, one of the most important modules in this, because like I said, we have to change the way we do things to support ourselves as we're going through the changes that come with menopause. And then we're going to discuss gut health. It is very important. It changes a lot and it suffers quite a bit as we're going through menopause and beyond. If you're finding yourself constipated, this is definitely something that you want to be looking into. And also upping your fiber, which we talk about in the nutrition module, and then exercise and movement. So I really want y'all to understand that, if you're not somebody who has been consistently active, you don't feel like you're an athlete, there is so much that you can do that's not competitive. The people who live to be 100, they walk. They're walkers. They're not They're not doing competitive triathlons. They're not, at the gym every day. They just walk. And so it's really just about that movement. And then adrenal and thyroid health as we're going through menopause as well. They suffer a lot. Our adrenals take over our sex hormone production. And so we need to make sure that we're supporting them. And a lot of us end up with thyroid issues as we're going through menopause. So we're going to talk about that. And then sexual vaginal health during menopause too. There's a lot going on in there, and it's something that really gets kind of pushed under the rug because it's hard to talk about. Like, it's very personal. It's kind of a taboo subject for a lot of us, but we really need to be talking about it because ignoring those issues can lead to some really nasty stuff down the line. And then our mental health as well. We are at the highest risk for suicide during our menopausal years, and it's because of our hormones. And so talking about, what to look out for, questions to ask, what's normal, what's not normal, and really developing a mindset too that's going to help us kind of weather the storm of menopause, because, like we were saying, like a lot of us don't get the help we're looking for when we go to our doctors for various reasons. And then module 9, we're going to be talking about life after menopause and, just things to look forward to, and also, things to be focusing on as we're going through menopause and we start to age, because like I said, there's a lot that we can do to help the aging process and to not be, feeble and fragile as we're aging. And so this process starts here as we are making these changes. So that is the bulk of the course part. Now, remember, we're going to be doing group coaching. We're going to have a Voxer chat, and we're going to have some really cool bonuses that I'm going to share with you in a second video. So let me know if you have questions about this, and I look forward to seeing y'all.